Hi, I'm Laura the Library Lady, and in this video I'm going to be talking about this book here. It's called There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed a Fly. Now, this is, and it's illustrated by Miss Pam Adams for a company called Child's Play. So this book is all about this old lady, and she eats a fly. Now this is a soft covered board book, and it's a book with holes. So if you go on Amazon.com to purchase this book, it's going to say board book with holes. But my edition is not a board book. Mine is actually a paperback. But it's this nice, thick, heavy paper. So if you still have a little one who likes to chew on things, this won't stand up quite as good as a board book, so beware. And remember, little people like to put, well, young children like to put things in their mouth. So don't be upset about that. That's normally what they do. I recommend you can start reading about 2 years old, this book. And this book is a lot of fun. Also, now, I got this book for $2 like a long time ago. And I've seen it on Amazon. It's $1. But she has a doll that goes with her, which I believe I have, or the doll that has this lady who lives in the shoe. I do have toys that go along with my books, and I have about 30 puppets as well. I used to teach very young children, so I'm going to have to incorporate my puppetry. But I actually have a doll with her, and inside of her stomach, everything's in there, and it's hilarious. So if you can buy a corresponding toy to go along with a book to reinforce those lessons, that would be great. Now, I did some research about Miss Pam Adams because I like to know more about my authors, and I've had this book for a long time. My biggest regret is I never contacted Miss Adams. She died in 2000 at the age of 91. If you look her up, you will see that she was a prolific writer and illustrator. She was in graphic arts and etc. And she was from Australia. She did live in London. I don't know if she ever lived in the United States. But if you put in Child's Play, parents, there was a horror movie named Child's Play. So when you look things up on the internet, you have to be pretty specific. So let's jump right in this book, and I'll explain. Now, if you look at the cover, you'll see a tiny little fly here in her stomach. So let's get going. All right. Fun book, lots of colors. So all the primary colors are here. And so I'm going to read this first page. This is what it looks like. So this is also considered by some a big book. I used to teach, so a big book to me is even bigger. And I used to do a lot of choral and response with my kids, but you'll see a lot in the black church as well, especially a traditional black church. But so you can also do that. But so this would be considered, some consider this a big book, but I have books that are half as tall as I am, or I have read those type of books. So here we go. There was an old lady who swallowed a fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. And then right here in this very small print, because you have all this yellow, and the font and the text is right up here on the top. Why are you doing, why does the author do that? And then in this very small font in the middle, which actually corresponds to the very small spot of the fly, it says, she swallowed a fly. Why? So we're, who, what, when, where, and why. Those 5 W's. So that's asking the child question, why would someone swallow a fly? And again, we're using rhyming, and we have patterns and syllables. And, okay, fly, fly, and die. So for very young children who are 1 or 2 years old, maybe 3, you may or may not want to explain what dying means. This is a rhyming book. It's a fairy tale or a thing that you would sing with your children. So once again, always read what you plan to use with your children. And if there's anything that you feel is objectionable, then you don't choose that particular resource for your child. So we have the old lady. She's quite a character here, and she's got candy and all kinds of things. You could talk about what she's wearing, and she's got this nice, pretty smile on her face. So she swallowed a fly, but she has a very good disposition. So let's turn the page and see what else is going on. There was an old lady who swallowed, whoops, skipped a page, sorry about that. Easy to do. There was an old lady who swallowed a spider that wiggled and wiggled and jiggled inside her. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. So we have the rhyming pattern again. We have repetitive. So these are patterns. These are all to help your children build their vocabulary. This book is also meant for the child to touch and to feel. Once again, when you're dealing with little ones, make sure their hands are clean and dry, and you don't have pencils or markers unless it's your personal book and you don't plan to share it with another child. Because nobody likes a book that's all, colored in and written on unless it's your personal book. When you buy a book, it's yours. So we look over here with the lady and we see the spider and we see that it has the fly inside. And this hole on the other page corresponds with that, and it's a bigger hole. So we're going to turn the page. I'm going to read one more page. What do we see? We see the whole, we see more and more text over here that you have to turn the book to read. But let's read what's on this page. There was an old lady who swallowed a bird. How absurd to swallow a bird. She swallowed the bird to catch the spider. So we see inside her the red bird, the spider, and the fly. So the fly is in the spider's in the bird. So we're also, size and dimension. So we've worked some math in there. And then some, does a spider eat, does a spider eat flies? Well, yeah, they do. They do their webs. Do birds eat spiders? Well, they eat insects, so that's definitely possible. It's kind of a food chain thing going on here. And we have the old lady, and she's still very happy. And over on this page, you've got this. She swallowed a bird to catch the spider that wiggled and jiggled inside her. So you've got the font going in circles, so the child may have to actually touch the page and follow it around. And the hole is getting bigger as well. So you got a whole lot of things going on here. And you can talk about all kinds of things. The number one thing also you might want to talk about with your child, especially when they're little ones, is what they put in their mouth. If you don't watch very young children, they will put anything and everything in their mouth. And that's not so good because they can choke on things. So as a parent, you need to make sure anything that may hurt your child, as far as cleansers and things like that, or putting their little fingers in the sockets, you need to make sure your house is child-proof. I know it may be hard, but you have to think about things from a little person, little child's point of view. They're inquisitive. This new world is so exciting. What's going on? They want to see, they want to touch, they're pulling themselves up. So you never leave a little one unsupervised for very long unless they're in a playpen or an appropriate crib or somewhere that you know that's safe. And so that's very important. And you want to make sure you don't buy any toys for them that have small pieces that they can put in there, because they're going to put it in their mouth. And I know when I was a little girl, my mother used to carry things and wipe things off. Now, I'm a little, the wipies and all that stuff wasn't around when I was a little girl, so she used to keep things, wet towels in, tinfoil or whatever. So if I dropped something on the floor, wherever I was, she just didn't give it back to me. She always washed it off or rinsed it off or cleaned it off because she knew I was going to pop it back in my mouth. And I know some people don't, they put, you go to a public place and you sit your forks on the table. I don't do that. I always put in napkins because I don't know, unless I clean it myself, I don't know how it's been cleaned. So these are some things to think about with your child. Talk to them, and you might think they don't understand, but you talk to them and say, this is what you put in your mouth, this is what you don't, and you as a parent have to make sure that your child is safe. So the old lady, and some people may be opposed to the term old lady, but this is an old nursery rhyme. And at the end, she's got all this stuff in her stomach, and she's still happy. She's got, she's got everything because the rhyme keeps going. And on this side, the holes get bigger and bigger. And when you go to the last page, you have the whole poem, the whole nursery rhyme. and the stanzas. So if you ever want to just look at the text without going through all the pages, you can do that. And of course, we have the old lady in the back cover. So this is a lot of fun, especially if you have the doll and inside are all the pieces, all the animals that are inside, and that's a lot of fun. And I was a little girl. I always used to carry my baby doll, my Barbie doll, everywhere with me, and my purse. Girl, I was fly as a little girl. I always had my purse and my tissue. And I love purses to this day. So this old lady, uh, there was an old lady who swallowed a fly is a great nursery rhyme, and you can start your children reading. It's about 1 to 2 years old, so about 3 to 4 years old. But if your child loves the book, you keep reading it until they tire of it. Great book. Hope you enjoy it.